Good afternoon and welcome. You're watching the US-based Focus on Liberia online television with me, Tia Williams. We're live from Monrovia, downtown Monrovia, where we've come to speak with Liberians. As you may know, folks, election is next year, October, and the heat is on. And so as part of our corporate social responsibility, we've come to hear from Liberians as we prepare to go to election next year. The question is, why do you think, or what is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected? And why do you think President Weah should not be re-elected as we move forward to election in Liberia? And so currently, as we speak, the country is getting charged politically ahead of a major general and presidential election in our country. Somebody said to me the heat is on, and so we are out and about as an institution sampling the views of Liberians regarding the upcoming electoral process. And so today we are downtown Monrovia to speak with the comrades as usual. And so they will tell us what is that one thing for which President Weah should be re-elected, and what is that one thing for which President Weah should not be re-elected. And so to begin, I have one of the comrades just before me. He's a member of the opposition. Welcome, how are you?
Thank you to you.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Charles Roberts.
All right, Charles, it's a pleasure you're live on the US-based Focus on Liberia online television. I'm sure this is the first time. All right, Charles, you've been following all of the issues and events as they unfold back home or in country, if I'll call it that way. Let me ask you, why do you think, or what is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected? And on the other hand, what is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should not be re-elected?
Well, so there are two questions that I'm faced with. In the first place, in your introduction, you already know that I am a member of the opposition. So, before George Weah became president, I have now seen him to be ready for the leadership of the country. Now he got elected by the Liberian people, which makes him a president. He has governed the country for 5 years, and yesterday he has not been able to disprove the reason for why I think he did not acquire the requisite qualification or leadership ability to govern. Today, if you ask me for what reason he should not be re-elected, it's simple. Till you are walking in the street of Monrovia, this is a boarding point of Liberia politics. This is Monrovia. This is scary street. The way activities are used to happen here before, the exchanges are used to take place here. This is the commercial street of Monrovia. Today, you will see young people here who are praying for the days to end, and so they go home. They come in the street hopeless and go back home hopeless. There have been nothing the president, under his leadership, has been able to do to give young people hope. He came from the General Assembly recently. A president, when you leave your country, it's like you are a father. When you leave, while out of your heart, you are in consultation with either the eldest son or the big sister you leave back home, in charge of the home. She or him will be informing you of happening back home in your absence. So you don't come back home and you rubbish everything they've been saying. He came back at the airport. The sticker issue here was confronted. He was confronted with the question by you, journalists, as it relates to the rights saga. And he said it was a gossip. They are still 1 week now. I don't know what happened. We are still believing that it's still a gossip. Today, people are left to sell rights whatever way they want to sell it, because the government has refused for the market to determine the rice price. They say the one rice will remain at $13. I am now an economist, so I don't know for what reason.
So Charles, let me hold you there. Is that the one thing you think President Weah should not be re-elected, the issue of the rice?
No. It's not an issue of the rice. The reason for why he should not be re-elected because he lacks leadership.
Okay.
The problem in the country, they don't rice, gas, education, healthcare, road construction, infrastructure development, unemployment, or inflation. That's not the problem. The problem in the country is lack of leadership.
Okay, finally, Charles, let me ask you, finally, what is that one thing you've already told us why he should not be re-elected? Right? What is another thing you think? Are you getting me, Charles?
I listen to you.
What is one thing you think President Weah should be elected?
Well, if you ask me, President Weah, the reason for why he should be elected, I think because of the support he got, he support his followers. Only for that. The people who follow him, he don't let them down. So if that handful of people will be a country, he can continue to go on and because they believe in him.
Okay.
He believe in him.
Thank you, Charles.
So,
Thank you, Charles Roberts. Thanks for joining us. Well, if you've just joined us, you're watching the US-based Focus on Liberia Online Television with me and Tia Williams. We want to know from all Liberians, folks, if elections were held today, what is that one thing you think President Weah should be re-elected for? And on the other hand, what is that one thing you think President Weah should not be re-elected? Let's hear from another gentleman who is just right before our camera. Welcome, how are you? Tell us the name.
Yeah, thank you, President Tia Williams. My name is Robert T. Harrison, officially known as Robert Political Slatter by my age. I am a Liberian, here for Grand Bass of country, residing in Mosarado County, Pacific Village, Moscow.
Okay. If elections were held today, if elections were held today, who do you think will win and why?
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain to the world as to who should be best president of Liberia. He's already in the driving seat. If the election wasn't held today, for all indications, George Weah is best suited, and George Weah will win the election. If you ask me what reason, there are many reasons. If we had the time to expatiate on the many reasons, we now move for your chest now. Among these reasons, I will not let you of reasons. First of all, when George Weah took power, that is in 2018, he made a huge economic challenges as it relates to our central banks, where our reserve that we had as a country was not sufficient enough to run the country. Inherited inflation rate that went to 30%. We already chopped down on meals. Businesses, NGOs left. With all these indicators, George Weah stood the ground along with tenants, ministers, those guys who have the economic expertise, who were appointed in various positions. They will stem their challenges. In 2018, right after 2018, here comes 2019, where you had a global pandemic that hit the world at large, that hit our economy, that hit the world economy. George Weah returned, where you have gasoline, where you have fuel, where you have many major commodities where at the still was scarce. George Weah withstood these challenges. George Weah said, why should we inherit all these challenges? Or we will make sure our people have an able environment where some of the basic necessities will be minimal, will be at a disposal. What did George Weah do? Saying believe that those people like voted him. Those people are not even voting him, but they are Liberians who stood in the room, who have been yearning for opportunity, whose sons and daughters at the state university yearning for good quality education and free education. What we are doing, seeing the economic burden have globally. He went at the university came up because he had been a plan of the students of the university came up. That is an OA issue about increment of education. You may be aware that during the regime of the old orders, talking about the backward regime that care about country backward in economic dispensation, the man of Salif and the Joseph Human backward regime, who only the watchful are the students were protesting for the increment of the university fees. When Judge Weah took over, he sat with the university students, and the university students at the campus presented a plaque saying, yes, indeed, we need a tuition free in a school. He says, that's the plaque, we will do that. Immediately he announced a tuition free. Fast forward, Judge Weah said, only man of slavery regime, Joseph Human power regime, they introduced what he called WAS. WAS, they introduced WAS, there was a street phenomenon that was Liberian students. There was a massive failure because there was no mental pain in place. Judge Weah said, we will create a mentor wherein our students will come to us in the world to make a progress. So Judge Weah said to ease the burden on the students and the family, we will take the wild fee as we did when we were in opposition in 2017. We will take the responsibility of the students in the country to take the wild fee. So Judge Weah not only reduce the wild fee, he wouldn't say we will pay the wild fee. He said I will introduce a mentor wherein every Saturday there will be an extra classes for the students that will go to take the trial test. So when they get in the hall, they shouldn't be looking straight to them. Just like introduce that mentor. You saw the result in the midst of coronavirus. Liberian students think they a huge mass when we do that. From 2019 up to foreign, the students have been victorious in that. Judge Weah not only stopped there, Judge Weah went to the southeast. Judge Weah said, where are the challenges our processes is other communities around? Our process will use rural connectivity. So my plan here is to make sure that we create feeder roads, to make sure that we create major roads so as to ease the economic burdens on our people. Judge Weah start collecting the country's capital to his national panel African Development Bank and the World Bank. What Judge Weah do? Judge Weah is building a proper unit. Those people who are not able to
So based upon that, we should have Judge Weah re-elected.
Based upon that, we should have Judge Weah re-elected, and not only be re-elected, but we will go in the butchers, in the slums to take our people.
Why do you think he should not also be re-elected?
The reason for which I think Judge Weah must not be re-elected is that simple. The reason being because when Judge Weah took over as president, he said this country is for all of us. We have to create an environment where even when you're opposition, even when you not believe in the ideology of Judge Weah, let us work in the interest of this country. When Judge Weah started operating, people will feel coming from the opposition like a mirror, the rest of the class. Even giving the opposition a clear level of influence when they will protest, there will be water provided for them. In the midst of that, you saw the head. You saw that the people like in the opposition, like right in the government, undermining the government. So on that basis, I feel by giving a free level fee to opposition to work in the government on the basis of being a citizen, is undermine his leadership, and for that, if I will recommend for him to not be there.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all you have that.
But overall, Judge Weah will be when they re-let everybody has slack down everyone of it on his side who will get the messages to the people that he is extraordinary doing.
Thank you. We have to hold you that because of time. We have lots of comrades in queue. Let's talk to another comrade here who has just joined the queue. Welcome if you just joined us. You're watching the US-based Focus on Liberia Online Television Network. My name is Theo Williams, and of course we are beaming live and direct from Monrovia, Central Monrovia, if you will. Welcome, my brother. How are you?
Thank you.
What is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected or not?
First of all, let me say good afternoon to those in the diaspora, and good evening to those in Liberia, whether you're from Nima, Grenada, Sano, Maryland, whether you own the beaches, wherever you are, to call, say good evening to you. This is activist McLean Render. And now let me say far, it is not a right to be Render McLean.
Sorry, I have to hold you there, but please, let's answer the questions directly. Just go to the issue and forget about long introduction and the rest of it. Because of time, we have lots of colleagues in line who want to also give their thought or speak their minds.
Thank you. You are right.
So again, Rana,
yeah.
The question is, what is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected or not?
Thank you. The name is activist McLean Render. Honestly, my expert opinion on critical national issues by a question you ask activist McLean Render, my answer will not fall in serious power pursuit with thousands, millions of people that are going to view this live. Because for one fight, we come with a different charisma to our broader spectrum of our country.
Rana, please go to the issue.
To the issue. Honestly, I'm going to commend you, President Weah. You are one of the real funniest. And also, Mr. Comment, listen to the big brother. There are two critical issues. There are two critical issues. There are your question, which I will reduce into one another. The first one I want to critically highlight is why President Weah, in my mind, I think, will not be re-elected. One, it is because of the rampant corruption that have clocked this country in broad daylight, in perishing poor people, allowing them to get poorer and poorer on a daily basis. Imagine a country with numerous of resources that can change you and I life. Imagine Liberia being the second highest exporter of rubber next to Malaysia. Imagine
Rana,
Liberia.
thank you. Let me hold you there. Thank you. Let me hold you there. I'm sorry about this, but I have to hold you there. You're not in line with the questions. So let me take someone else. I'm very sorry about that, but I have to hold you there. Let me talk to this other brother. My brother, welcome. How are you? Thank you. It's a pleasure having you on our network this afternoon. What is your name?
My name is Miracle Weah.
All right, Miracle. Welcome. You live on Focus on Liberia Online Television Network. What is that one thing you think President Weah should be re-elected for or not?
Yeah, I would say President Weah shouldn't be re-elected.
All right.
Reason being because he has failed the Liberian people. One has to do it. During President Weah's inauguration speech, when he talked about New Day, an inauguration speech, he promised the Liberian people that every year he will get certain number of youth jobs to do within the country.
All right.
Every year. You get me? Which of course fair on that aspect. Now see the country, many youth, many adults are not working for now. And during Manasadita, the CDC told that they fail us. During Manasadita, there was job opportunity within the UP-led government during our time. But we have Farm Mill, we have Oxfam, we have Action Aid, we have USAID, we have other NGO within the country during Manasadita that was here, what other Liberians that are qualified were working. And under George Weah, what we say, in clean man, he bring no war, he cause no problem. I expect investors to come while investors are not coming. That means he don't have leadership ability for the people to come within the country. So I believe he's not capable enough to be president.
Thank you.
We'll kick it out.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you. It was a pleasure having you on this network.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's talk to. I think we have to push forward, gentlemen. Let's make way for. Let's try to push down a little bit. Stay with us, folks. You're watching the US-based Focus on Liberia Online Television Network. My name is Theo Williams. We are live from Monrovia. Let's talk to another comrade here. Welcome. How are you? Tell us the name.
Yeah, my name is Christopher. Tape from the township of Carway.
Welcome, Chris. It's a pleasure having you on this network.
Thank you.
Let's know from you, what is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected or not?
Thank you very much. What I think that President Weah will be re-elected is that for the many more, for opening the country in reconstruction of the roads, both feeder roads and our counties road, where our clothes, our people cannot come to town, and electricity also, because electricity and roads make impact in the country.
All right.
Open the road, open the country for a lot of development. Example, you saw Carway was a closed community. When Manasari opened Carway, you saw people running there to chop one another for land business. So when President Weah brought our idea up to open the roads into the rural counties and the rural roads into the rural community surrounding Bolsonaro, it was a good impact there. It made also the farmers will go there and make farm and food will come, because every year we import rice.
Okay.
Every year we import rice, and the red process it started before I could born, and it's still creating. If President Weah, if the people are not being loved by President Weah, down the day it will come to be another crisis. So I see that President Weah had a leadership ability, and he can make Liberia to be a better environment country that Liberia will live. So I think President Weah can have a second chance to grow Liberia again and to make Liberia a better country.
Thank you very kindly. Your name again?
Christopher Tape, resident of Carway Township.
Thank you, Chris. It was a pleasure having you on the US-based Focus on Liberia online television. Welcome, folks, all of you who are coming on. The pleasure is mine to say welcome from just wherever you are joining us, whatever you're doing at the moment. And welcome to this live feed. And then before me is another gentleman. Welcome, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
What is the name, sir?
I'm Amos Borges-Chile, here from Carway. This is 15.
Okay. Yeah. What is that one thing that you think President Weah should be re-elected or not?
I will just speak on one issue, that the way I see things from the angle that President Weah will not be re-elected.
All right.
This is it. During the 2019 election, that brought David Dillon to be a senator.
All right.
So the same area, we had an issue with the rate fluctuating. And then I speak on the other issue of security in the country. I said, by this, David Dillon going to win Thomas Fala.
All right.
By this crisis. Now, yet today, I commend America for the issue about the drugs, the 100 million drugs, that were being revealed to the immigration of Liberia that we found now. Let me tell you, the situation in our country, the youth are sporting on a daily basis. If you move around at night, you can see a police officer sitting with them, smoking the drugs. And majority of the population of Liberia is the youth. So if you are disturbing them, look at Soko on a daily basis, they are increasing. No security. Now today we have a rest issue. Do you think that election will be held today, President Weah will not win election? On a serious note, President Weah will not win election. By this crisis that we're having today, by this issue that we're having, no security, no food, corruption, they have become on a high level. Now we have to wait on America to tell President Weah that those three people, session and you second before you come out after Liberia complain every day. You understand? After Liberia complain to the government of Liberia, to President Weah, complain to President Weah and his team that those people are corrupt until America got to come and say, sanction the people before you can come up. Before you can dismiss them from office or resign, you say you are joking. If the election being here today, President Weah will totally lost the election.
Thank you very kindly. Let's talk to another brother who is in the queue. Welcome, how are you? Tell us your name.
Thank you very much. I'm Sango Harris from District 2, Moscow County.
You have to please be audible. Your name again?
I'm Sango Harris from District number 2, Moscow County.
All right, Harris, welcome to the US-based Focus on Liberia Online Television Network.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and I want to appreciate you firstly. I want to establish to the world that you've been one of the honest journalists, and I encourage you to be doing your work across the country, continue the hard work.
Okay, great. So to the question now, what is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected or not?
It's just very simple. People are arguing why President Weah shouldn't be re-elected. It's just very simple. Tells him back, wise fees of various parents were never in the position to pay. They were in the swamp, doing farm, in the butcher and things, throwing low on their hair to see how their children were free to be paid. Today, it's no more. All public universities, local road connectivity. Someone speaking about agriculture. On a manner, Eddie Johnson study government. Joseph Human Bwaka served as vice president by the Liberian government. 40 million plus into the country for empowerment. Talk about bread and butter issue today. See to the camera. There's a low-fat forest. Zoom to El Kennedy. There's a Liberian government money that is sent to the country. This is a mission in local forest to produce rice in the country. That machine can cut rice and plant rice. You can see it. There's government in local forest in my phone. It's a lot of evidence. 40 million were given by the Liberian government. Look at it live. Y'all view it live. Why you said to me, President Weah shouldn't be re-elected? You talk about vice president that's turned no opportunity that he admitted. My mother hailed from local county for feasible district, Pacific. That's not no opportunity. Look at machine. That cost thousands of dollars today. President Weah is doing his best to see how the country. You talk about media free today, you're in the street of Karen Street. Getting people feel there's a peaceful citizen living in the country. Then you say President Weah will not be reader, you will be joking. But I can assure you, in this country, the opportunity that was done there by Manuel Eddie Johnson study government that failed Joseph Human Bwaka, who here from local county for your district to be perceived. We would say to the world, watch and see.
Okay.
Liberia, they talk about right issue.
Thank you.
President Weah is doing well to see how Liberia. We talk about peace. We talk about development. Look across the country. No country in the country can stand here on kerosene and say they don't feed the president of President George Manuel Weah. I challenge everyone that if you feed you from Bonkade, I challenge you to say, Honor President Weah 5-year administration, Bonkade has not received one development under administration. I challenge people from Grand Bassa County and say, Honor President Weah administration, you have never received development. What are you talking? You're joking. Okay. But we can say to the world, let's be honest. President Weah re-election, people joking. People go on the street with their blood, with their sweat, to see how President Weah can be re-elected, because peace is tantamount to our society. Before, nobody could stand on Karen Street and they start the issue about Liberia politics. Now, trust me, my daughter, that are born, Harris could not attend the University of Liberia. Today, my daughter in the University of Liberia. What are you talking about?
Thank you. Let's go done. We have to take orders. We have to take orders. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you on the US-based Focus on Liberia online television. Well, my name is Theo Williams, and of course we are beaming live and direct from Monrovia. We've come to talk to Liberians as we move closer to the general and presidential elections in our country. Before me, there's another brother here already posted. Welcome, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Brother Theo.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Abel King, member of CO.
All right, Abel, it's a pleasure having you on this afternoon.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected or not?
The first thing, we have almost, like they say, 12 months to election.
All right.
And the 12 months to election, for me, I will not discuss whether President Weah will be re-elected or not, based on the current issue that we're facing. And number one, For me personally, I'm highly disappointed in President Weah government.
Why are you disappointed?
Because there are elementary mistakes that government, the President Weah government, always making we of course will not allow for that mistake to happen over and over. Currently about the red issue. Like other people said that he should be re-elected or not. I'm not discussing it. Look, I really want to know whether President
That is our
Weah,
topic on our discussion, so
Yeah.
you have to speak to the topic, please.
Yeah,
let's stay within the confines of the subject
yeah.
on our discussion, please.
Okay, but then I will go by you because you got specific
So
topics.
let me hear you on that.
Even critical issue will be discussed too.
So let me hear you on that.
Let me tell you.
What
for
is that
me,
one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected or not?
President Weah, for me, in my mind, he will not be re-elected based on the reality that happened on ground. Number one, President Weah took over the country almost 5 years, and he took 6 months to build for the 2 unit buses. So, a leader, first thing, leadership is sacrifice. Whenever you see a leader, when they take power, fighting for themselves first before the people, then you miss a mark. That one always you see the Western people get 100-day plans. President Weah doesn't think about Liberia. So he will not be re-elected. President Weah kept corrupt people until the U.S. Department got to come and say, President Weah, those people that you get around you corrupt. Stay up to the time since he sent the people for investigation. He almost like, who tell you the American people not know that when you send the people for investigation, if you playing game, they not know. It almost like you and business people, you and business partner make business, then you get the man money, the man leave good with you, the man going with money, then you send armed robber behind him to take the money. That is risky. You see the problem we're facing in the country today? There are 2 kinds of evidence. I'm always saying the Western world used to track people. They got absolute evidence and they got reasonable evidence. To reason in Liberia, that the problem for we the youth. Like 70% you eat by mistake. We mean you see your friend eating, you join them. It happened to me today. And myself said, no, I'm doing it now. I just see my friend eating, I join them. 2 kinds of evidence, absolute evidence and reasonable evidence. The evidence the U.S. Department used on McGill, Beatrice, and Serena Seafor is that the reasonable evidence. McGill never buried 100,000 dead body before he left. When he was not in power. So when he took power, before burying, U.S. Department get reasonable, even though they not see you steady. It almost like you accuse somebody for your wealth, loving to your wealth. With me, the person carry your wealth in the room and lock everything, then your wealth slip on inside. Then you saw the person carrying your wealth in the room. You don't got to see where the person doing to your wealth. But for reasonable reasoning, you will know that somebody loving to your wealth.
Okay. Thank you. Let's hold you down and take another comment.
So, my last comment is that President Weah about a rare issue. You say now you're talking about me, I will get. President Weah will not be re-elected based on a rare issue. We are suffering. Can you imagine the people playing politics? The business people have meeting for the sense that they say we are not politicians. They play with the gathered red pro, y'all know that y'all got agent there. We won't add the red up to 2,500. They said no. They were getting money. But now they demanded the people, even though they get the people money, the people brought around. When people protest for you to see reason, the people went go slow. Now they order, the government order the people, start setting the people rest in the warehouse because you listen to the people. Now the people, you saw they are ready to get their money. They send it for another rent. And you can't force businessmen to send for rent. Even when they rent here, the only time you can tell the businessman sell it. So now the businessmen are sending for another rent. Right now, go all kind of way on the market until we are not getting. Right now we're buying the 120. Every day more than 20, 30 that are adding on the cup of rent. Please, our president, he should read his history. He know what rent can do. If you make rent to go to the level, then you are not ready yet. But some reasonable government can allow for this situation to occur.
Thank you very kindly.
So our president need to do something. Now, red protest lowly, and red protest doesn't have a leader. Red protest, not get politician among a red protest, not get no leader say, oh, the person leading the protest. Red protest, the leader that hunger, and you know where hunger does all the time. Please.
Thank you. Thank you. You're watching the US-based Focus on Liberia Online Television Network with me, Tia Williams. We will do more of these as we draw closer to election in our country. And so let me talk to another gentleman here who is in the queue. Welcome, my brother. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
You have to please be audible. What is your name?
I'm Alfred Momokanaka.
Alfred Momokanaka. Let me ask you, what is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected or not?
When it comes to the re-election of Mr. Weah, I think it's determined by the Liberian people in the direction where if they are thinking properly like human beings. If they don't think as a human being,
Where are you driving, Kuma?
what I'm trying to say, you can see what the country is going through. It's not, and nobody need to go to England and bring white woman here to tell you before you can believe what is going on. I've said it before, Liberia as a country is bleeding. Liberia as a country is bleeding, and you can see the physical blood rolling the street of, rolling every corner of this sector. By either property, lack of medical facility, lack of educational facility, and all other facilities that you can do. So, the re-election of Mr. Okon will only be determined by the mindset of the Liberian people, the way they will think.
All right.
Secondly, the opposition themselves, based on their behavior, will make the Liberian people to have it in another direction. Because if the opposition are not serious, unified, you come under one umbrella to unite and get their guy out, automatically the Liberian people will see no alternative rather to say they're going by. So they that said get what to do. They that said need to re-examine their thinking. They that said they need to go back to the drawing board. They need to use a political thermometer to examine their own temperature to know where they are standing. Anything outside that, you will see the re-solving of women. For me, personally, I would not want to see Trump be re-elected as president of this country anymore.
Why?
I know this guy is surrounding the way, in fact, this guy was not even prepared nothing. He is, as far as the country history is concerned, Obama is the most unprepared person ever came to the presidency. He knows nothing about governance. He is naturally been robbed, politically, empty, academically, nothing. He took the presidency. So I've said that this guy hijacked the presidency. In fact, the presidency was hijacked by him, and if by accident that he got the presidency. It is by accident that he took the presidency. So I've said it. So because of this, I feel myself that this guy was not ready for the country. But again, taking into consideration the people in the country, the Liberian people, the people that are in the country, majority of the people in the country, majority of the people in the country, I don't know, I don't want to use any agenda that they are facing also. Because I don't see the soundness in anybody or in anyone who you know that something is not real for you or is not good for you, they say that what I want. Because there are two things. There's what you need and what you want. Okay. Like real people only believe in what they want but not what they need. So on the basis of that, I think in my mind that this guy is not being real. But finally, I'm supporting opposition black.
All right.
But what has started to happen to me, I'm not ascending even you, I'm victims. I'm a victim circumstances where I'm ascending even you there, and I'm breathing it, in my heart. Something happened to me, I never expected it to happen to me anywhere, by the character who did it to me, I never expected it. But in due course, I will take the airway and inform the Liberian people about this character in this country, who he is and why he should be, and who
Alfred Momokanaka, thank you very kindly for speaking with us. This is the US-based Focus on Liberia Online Television Network, and of course we are live from downtown Monrovia, where we've come to sample the views of Liberians as we move forward or draw closer to election in our country. And so all of you who are watching, I'd like to say thanks for being with us. Stay with us as we talk to Liberians, as we prepare for election next year. So the question is, what makes you think President Weah should be re-elected or not? And so you've heard from Liberians. We'll talk to one or two more comrades, then we call it a day, because I'm told another program will be coming on very shortly. And so we'll have to make way for that. But stay with us. My name is Theo Williams. We're live from Monrovia. Let's talk to this gentleman here. Welcome. How are you? Tell us the name.
I'm Maurice Gable.
All right. Say Gonganu, welcome.
Thank you.
What is that one thing that makes you think President Weah should be re-elected or not?
Well, basically, from my perspective, as a man who supported President Weah in elections today,
All right.
which the history has been rating, I don't feel so sufficient enough that he needs to be re-elected on few counts.
All right.
For the matter of fact, I supported George Weah for accountability. I'm not seeing accountability. One thing that convinced me again was the establishment of war and economic crime. He fails to do so. He went before the war governing body, GA, and promised the people. He went to hunger and promised the world that he was going to establish war and economic crime. Upon his return, he said, "Why now?" That was deception. I started calculating my thinking. I said, "Well, young men like me who feel that my children should have justice tomorrow, my president that I elect, see myself in him as a young man to speak in the form of manner elect. You don't believe in providing justice for the Liberian people, so he lost my covenant for them." And from the onset of his leadership, he had demonstrated lack of leadership in terms of providing justice. We saw people innocently killed with no justification, with no funding. Others that die in this country with no accountability. People who we trusted, Honor Man and Sali, to have read sufficiently about accountability to provide check and balance. They died here. Gifty Lemon, Abbas Peters, the LAA boss, how do you call the fellow? The lost in here. We saw them with no accountability today. And these people died right after billions of dollars got missing in this country. These are reasons that no president. We are not only re-elected.
Okay.
And then we furthermore, we went to observe today that the situation currently, he has introduced the economic policy that constrains the people. He slapped down 7 salaries. Okay? That is taking the purchasing power of the people from them. If you slap down salary, you reduce the purchasing power. School going girls and boys ratio have increased to the extent that nobody see people going to school in this country. Children at home, the 5 children going to school, the man is working for $200. How much you will spend on those children to be in school? Look at the rest situation. You slap down 7 salary. How you expect people to sustain their family?
Okay.
So I think the president need not to be re-elected.
Thank you.
Judging from the fact in closing that in his office, the Minister of State, Nathaniel Marget, was caught by the American people, and he's currently under sanctions. I think these people are clearly informed us that President Weah need not to be re-elected.
Say, Gonganu, thank you very kindly.
We think you should be held liable for, and shouldn't be re-elected. Thank you so much.
Gonganu, it was a pleasure having you on this network. Well, folks, we want to wrap it up at this end. It's been a wonderful time interacting with Liberians. We'll do more of these, like I told you, across Monrovia and its environs as we move closer to the election. We'll sample the views of Liberians on trending issues in our country. And so at this point, I'd like to say thanks to all of you who's been watching. Thanks to our High-Awakened CEO who is in Atlanta, Georgia, the U.S. Mr. Dennis Jar. Thanks to Head of Operations, Anthony C. and all those members of the Focus on Liberia team, for and on behalf of the team, Theo Williams is my name, bidding you farewell from Monrovia. Do have yourselves a wonderful day.